It's January 5th, 2023, and you are listening to the Take the Over podcast presented by Live Casino. Let's go. Welcome, everybody, to the show, the first show of the new year, I might add.
Happy New Year, Derek.
Happy New Year to you, Drew. How was your New Year's?
I just figured out how to write, whenever I'm writing the date, to put 22 on there, so it's going to be an adjustment. I just got used to putting 22, so
now what?
23, I'm just going to have to be writing 22 until I remember to write 23. Who knows how long it could be. I've got all year, which is nice.
It's true.
To catch up. So
you get that 2, and then you loop the 3 underneath the other line underneath it. So it's going to be a lot of 22.
Yeah,
loops.
Exactly right. But it was my New Year's was good. How was yours?
Yeah, it was good. We did a show up in Grove City, Pennsylvania, which is the place dreams go to die. So that's where. Fame comes in a lot of different, facets. People don't understand. They're like, what's fame look like? And to me on New Year's Eve, it looked like about 150 white people in a theater that looked like they were very upset that bingo wasn't happening.
That's what I remember. You said you were so upset you had to turn down Radio City Music Hall to go for Grove City. That's tough, but I'm glad that it was a good New Year for you. It's
one of those things where like Grove City is going to pay you so much money, and then Radio City Music Hall, they're like, we'll pay you this much
exposure.
Money.
No, I don't want
exposure. Yeah. I'm working for exposure now. This is 2013 all over again. Yeah, I'd love to do your podcast. I'd love to. So welcome everybody to the show. We're gonna have a great show today. We don't have the main camera. I was just looking for the main camera. It's in the back of my wife's car, so we don't have the main camera.
So is this gonna be solo cameras?
It's just 2 solo cameras.
So this is gonna be an episode you have to watch.
You have to watch. Yeah, it's just an all reactionary episode. So today we are we missed a few weeks with the holidays. We gave ourselves the holidays off from making you guys money to spend some time with our families because we are good Christians and we care.
Would you say you were hot over the holidays?
Yeah, last week I was like 6-2. That's good. Yeah, it was good. So I'm anticipating that to continue. And while that continues, as week 18 continues, week 18 is going to be a little bit of a crapshoot because we don't know who's sitting, who's starting. The only thing I know for certain about week 18 is if you are looking for the best place to watch week 18, it is at the Live Casino right down there in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Technically Live Casino Pittsburgh in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. They have that 2-story media wall, and the wings weren't bad.
The wings really were not bad. I am actually since then I've been eating more hot things.
Yeah,
and it's really hasn't been that hot. Like the hot sauce was really hot. I think I built it up in my head my anxiety does a good job of doing that for me. But I had built it up to be a lot hotter than it would be.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't that bad, and the sauce tasted kind of good.
It was very good.
So it was good. It wasn't just hot for the sake of being hot.
Right.
And the wings, even though they were sitting there for however long,
about 2 hours.
The wings were phenomenal. The wings are phenomenal. So it was a good experience. There's always good food, sports and social.
You can't beat it.
And it is a really good experience to watch the games there, especially week 18. I imagine.
I mean,
first one ever.
I mean, second one.
Second one ever.
Second one ever. Oh, there you go. And we got to
watch
us
us
talking. And just so you know as well, this is your last week to enter the giveaway for the Live Casino gift card for the Sports and Social gift card. Here's the thing: if the Steelers make the playoffs, you could be watching that at Live Casino at Sports and Social, and we're going to give you some money to do that. We have a gift card from Live Casino for Sports and Social.
We do have that.
All you have to do to get into that gift card is subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's really simple. All you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's we'll put a link here in the comments here to get you that. But yeah, we're kicking it off. No Thursday night football. We're recording on Thursday night. There's no Thursday night football. So we jump in with 2 Saturday games?
We're blessed with 2 Saturday games, 4:30 and an 8:17.
All right, who's the 4:30?
Kansas City at Las Vegas. Kansas City -9.5 is -105 on FanDuel right now.
Okay.
The total for that game is 51.5. I know we talk about totals usually a little bit later in the show, but 9.5 is a lot of points. Las Vegas also. I mean, I think Carr is getting a little exposed because now he's not the starter, right?
He's not the starter. He's the future New York Jets starter, is what he is. So
that would be ideal, I think.
It's one of those things where people, a lot of Jets fans are complaining. They're like, we don't want Derek Carr. He couldn't make it there. Derek Carr's worst season would be the best season for a quarterback for the New York Jets in the past 10 years.
Well, then Saleh came out this week in support of Wilson and said he's our guy basically again, right? Is that what I saw?
You did see that, and I will say that seems like it's how can we salvage trade. They're not. I don't think they're really interested in keeping him around, but they know if they keep saying this guy sucks, no one's going to trade for him. He was a second overall pick, and it's not just him. It's every single quarterback that's gone in that locker room or gone in that huddle since him or after him or during his injuries has looked better. The offense has performed better. Everything's been better. So, do I think he's a bad quarterback? I don't think. I think he's fundamentally struggling right now. It's tough, but I would say his next home he's gonna be pretty good. He'll be all right in his next home.
I don't think that's gonna be the case.
You don't think? Sam Darnold's looked all right.
I think it's gonna be Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton pretty much all over again.
You're saying he's like Andy
Carr
Dalton.
is going to be Andy Dalton, right? I think Wilson's next home he could
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, flourish, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Wilson's next home. I think he'll have a flourish and then fizzle out because I think the trade is going to be a reality check. You got to work hard and do this stuff right.
Right.
And then I think once he starts to perform well, it's going to go back to his old antics of thinking that he might be too good to do things.
I hope not.
Like read a defense.
What's that?
Like read a defense. Or
or throw it to the right guys then with the right jerseys on. Yeah, so little things like that. So in the comments here while we were talking there, I put our YouTube channel, but it just copied and pasted as youtube.com. We are not just youtube.com. That was taken.
Did it come up with a screenshot, like the little preview of youtube.com?
Yeah.
Or did you click on the link to see if it took you to our page? Or did it just?
Oh, I got it. It's in there now. All right. So if you want to follow us and win that Sports and Social book, Sports and Social. Did I just have a stroke? Does anybody smell toast? Win that Sports and Social gift card. All you got to do is just give us a subscribe on YouTube. It costs you nothing. It means everything to us as we wrap up this NFL season here. So you're liking, like 9.5 is the line. Vegas.
Two things. One. Whenever do you know when we're going to pull that gift card?
Next week.
Next week. So first week of the playoffs. We're going to pull it next week.
Yep.
Next week's show. We're going to pull it live.
Pull it live.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Second thing, we're already too deep into the show before mentioning Damar Hamlin and his
that's true.
and thoughts and prayers to Damar Hamlin, Pittsburgh guy. I was looking for the main camera as well for the Pittsburgh guy. And then, good news for at the time of the recording of this podcast. It seems like it's all good news coming out of that out of situation right now. So it's on the front page of most media outlets, especially sports media outlets, especially NFL.com, that they are his condition seems to be improving, and he made tremendous progress. I mean, I saw
you have to understand, and
in the past 48 hours.
This is something that was personal, obviously in my life over the last year, losing someone you love and things like that, like seeing that same thing being put on that life support and hearing those numbers is encouraging, right? Like when you hear like when he went into the hospital, he was on 100% oxygen, which means his lungs were not working at all. The machine was working everything for him, right? And the only reason I know this is obviously what happened in the past year. But then you see like he's at 50%, and I get it, he's an elite athlete. But to go from being resuscitated twice, your heart stopped twice on the field, to being at 50% oxygen the next day, to now being out of incubation where he's like alert and awake. And the craziest thing about that is he has like grip strength. He was squeezing his family's hands. He was communicating with them. The first thing he wrote was a question, said, did we win the game, right? And I don't know how they told him, like, no, you actually kind of ruined that. They actually canceled the game because
I saw today they officially canceled it, and they're figuring out what the playoff implications are for that. So.
Yeah, which is going to be wild. Just to go from that, but being without oxygen in your brain for that long, and then to still have like brain function is unbelievable. But to have the wherewithal of where you're at to have that brain function is even crazier. It does lead to some so obviously thoughts and prayers. We can't say that enough. Thoughts and prayers are continuing to go out. I think everybody was a Buffalo Bills fan this week, regardless of who you stand with. So obviously thoughts and prayers with Damar Hamlin there. But it does lead to some interesting things where they're thinking like no neutral site AFC Championship game. That was an option. They thought about expanding the playoffs to 8 teams. Could you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine. And the way that the AFC is looking up is that would just make things even more chaotic than they already are right now.
The Jets wouldn't be eliminated.
That was another thing that wasn't on my list of things I want to ask you. I mentioned the two things, gift card and Damar Hamlin, but I guess a third thing I would throw in there is how does it feel getting this late into the season to be eliminated from the playoffs?
You know what?
Did you think? Talk me through your process.
It's been hurtful because we were 7-4, and now we're 7-9. So it wasn't ideal. I'll say that, but just have meaningful football this late into the season. I definitely think it does matter. You want to win. If they win 2 games out of their last 5, they're in the playoffs, right? So we're looking at the week 18. We start off with Kansas City Kansas City playing the Las Vegas Raiders.
It's at Las Vegas, yep.
It's -9.5. Derek Carr's not starting, which means Nathan Peterman is starting?
No, he's starting for the Bears. He's starting for the Bears. Because Fields is out.
Yeah.
And no, I don't, for the Raiders, let's see what their QB situation looks like.
This is how little we know about where the Raiders stand.
Tuiaso Sopo's starting. No, it's not going to be. Jarrett Stidham's going to be in the net for Las Vegas Raiders. Is that right? In the net? Is that what the quarterbacks do?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
He's in the cage.
Yeah, in the cage. Didn't have a bad first week. Didn't blow the doors away. Didn't blow the doors off anybody. 9.5. I'll say this. I don't love that. Saturday's games really didn't catch my eye that much. Kansas City doesn't cover. I think Las Vegas is coached by one of the worst, NFL head coaches now. I think it's safe to say that.
How does he do that?
Yeah, he took a playoff team and made him a 5-win team.
He's doing. Yeah. He did that with Denver, right? And then went back to Papa Bill.
So he was the offensive coordinator with Denver under Peyton Manning. No, that was Adam Gase. It was. Yeah, it was.
And he was head coach, and then went back and was the assistant for which he's like. It's like this theme with Belichick. Patricia goes out, comes back.
Yeah.
McDaniels goes out, comes back.
Yeah.
McDaniels on the QB. If you search Jarrett Stidham, one of the top Google results is a Pro Football Talk story about Josh McDaniels is not overly concerned about Jarrett Stidham's elbow issue, which just to your point,
so he's an elbow issue.
It's not overly concerned. If you're talking to the press, that's a huge amount of concern.
Right.
If it's not a concern, you say that's not an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not an issue.
Yeah.
Not overly concerned.
We're kind of concerned.
You could just take the knot off at the front of that.
We're overly concerned about it.
So we've got Jarrett Stidham playing against Kansas City Chiefs, and Kansas City Chiefs running into the playoffs. They don't need this game, I don't believe. They're 13-3.
Well, they do need it for the number 1 overall seed. So they can get that number 1 overall seed if they don't do anything screwy with the playoffs because of what happened last Monday night. So where do you stand here? Where do you stand?
That's what I'm trying to talk it through because I don't really know. I mean, you have the Chiefs playing just to win,
right?
So it's 9.5, which we're basically we're close to a double-digit line, right?
Yeah,
so
it's very close.
But then you also have Las Vegas Raiders with Jarrett Stidham starting. So and then was it Josh Jacobs that was talking about how he's basically like in the locker room how he's tired of it, like he's just tired of he didn't say Oakland, but he's just tired of working that hard.
Who is this?
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
And then he started working that hard and then not seeing the results from it. And it's been year after year after year with the Raiders. So you have Raiders just trying to maybe get their best possible draft pick. What's the draft pick situation look like? This is the time of year. It's so you have to think of so many things getting into games this time of year.
This time of year, you definitely have to think about this. What I will say is Kansas City Chiefs are a good football team. They've been a good football team for a few years. They are 6-10 against the spread this season, so they don't often cover games. They often have big lines. They win games. They win close games. I think Patrick Mahomes is an easy MVP candidate here. If I leaned one way, I would probably give me the better team to win by 2 scores. I would say the Kansas City Chiefs. That's not an official pick. I'm not taking this game whatsoever. But if I was putting money on it, it would be Kansas City. And we have, I would be the same way. I think Kansas City, the fear here is always going to be the backdoor cover. It's never, even if Kansas City's up 28-0 at halftime, you're not going to bed for that game. So that's the part that I also agree with you. I think Kansas City -9.5 is the more likely of the two. Vegas is currently sitting 8th in the 2023 NFL draft. Okay.
So with 2 other 6-10 teams right now. So they, how far do they want to go? I don't think they're going to try and necessarily win this game. But at the same time, you have people. These are professionals that are playing not just for their jobs on their team, but if they get
a lot of guys on expiring contracts,
if they get seen by another team, they're playing for their livelihood. So you never know how that's going to turn out. But I think the Chiefs just have too much, and they're going to be too much. And 9.5 is a lot. This is a great opportunity to get it to 3.5, and the total is 51.5, so 45.5.
Yeah,
just do 6 points on each side. I don't mind that at all.
No, I don't mind it. It's not my favorite bet of the week. It's a fun game to watch, a really weird game to bet. So for me, I'm just going to sit this one out. And then what's the nightcap is actually a very interesting game.
Well, that's it. It's just an appetizer for because we get a winner take all at potentially at the 8 p.m. game, which with Tennessee at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's offense I just saw is ranked 7th right now in the NFL. So Jacksonville is ranked 7th.
Oh, Jacksonville. I thought you meant Tennessee.
Tennessee's 30th. No, Tennessee's 30th.
It's like, that doesn't seem right at all.
But Tennessee also with the 30th ranked defense in the NFL. So this game right now is Jacksonville minus 6.5 on FanDuel. Jacksonville at home. They have to win this game to move on. They've had so much turbulence in the last 24 months in that whole organization. I think Jaguars minus 6.5 is extremely easy. But as I mentioned to you before the show, Mike Vrabel, this is essentially a playoff game for these teams because you lose, you're out. So they're starting their playoffs a week early. This is going to be a playoff atmosphere, I think, which it's in Jacksonville at home, so take that with a grain of salt. But I think we're going to see a must-win game. You win, you're in, and Jacksonville is going to win this game. They're minus 295 on the money line right now, a little rich for me, but 6.5, and then the total is 39.5, so not expecting a lot of points, but Jaguars win by 6.5, I think, is a good play.
Both of these teams are about 500 against the spread for the season. The Titans are 8-7-1. The Jaguars are 8-8 against the spread. Jacksonville did beat Tennessee earlier this year, and they're playing some inspired football at 6.5. I really like Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence has protected the football the last couple of weeks. He's made some big plays. They beat the Dallas Cowboys. And that's a big win because Dallas is actually playing some really inspired, great football this season. Minus 6.5. It's not my best bet of the week, but I will ride with Trevor Lawrence because he should have been a New York Jet. I will ride with Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And not only that, but Travis Etienne's looked really good. Christian Kirk looks like he wasn't overpaid, even though everybody thought he was at the beginning of the season during free agency. So I like. I'll take Jacksonville minus 6.5. Yeah, I'll ride with that.
And then we've got. Would you buy a point there? Would you could take it to minus 5.5 for like an overtime touchdown game winner?
No, I don't think it gets to overtime. I think that the NFL will stop it from getting to overtime for sure. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but I would say that that's probably all right. It's a regulation game.
Minus 5.5 is minus 132. Just so everybody knows. But I think the minus 6.5 is something I'm comfortable going with.
You like that?
Yeah.
All right. Then we pop into Sunday's games, where we got a whole slew of Sunday games with big playoff implications, and I don't think anything starts further than the Pittsburgh Steelers still have a chance. How?
The Pittsburgh Steelers do have a chance. They're rising up the charts. I mean, it's Mike Tomlin. He's not had a losing season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this game has so many implications for Cleveland fans, too. I mean, who better to stop the run of winning seasons than the Cleveland Browns? So Pittsburgh Steelers are favored, minus 2.5. The Cleveland Browns. I didn't look at the Cleveland Brown injury report before.
Well, I don't think they're going to sit anybody. So basically, here's how the Steelers get in. There are multiple scenarios for the Steelers getting into the playoffs. They have to win against the Cleveland Browns. In order for that scenario to happen, the Steelers must beat the Browns, and the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots both have to lose. Steelers could tie the Browns, but then the Dolphins and the Patriots would both have to lose. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. And then those are the two. So it really sounds like the Steelers have to win, and Miami Dolphins and New England Patriots have to either both lose or tie. So those are the ways the Steelers get into the playoffs. How do you feel about the Steelers sneaking it up? Do you think that they do it? They're minus 2.5. Browns at Steelers. Steelers are giving 2.5 points. How do you feel about just that as a game?
If the Steelers manage to get in, look out, because you've got Kenny Pickett. I mean, just a fateful season that if he squeaks into the playoffs.
How right was I, though? How much better did he get after his bye week?
How
much better did he get after his bye week?
It's a great time to reset, and not to mention on the bye week, you get to watch football. Like what you do for a job, you just get to watch other people do it for the whole day. Which is a great day, by the way. There's not many better days than just watching NFL from sun up to sundown. But just watching the football and then being able to digest a little bit more of what you've done to that point.
Yep.
And you have an extra week basically of preparation.
Kind of slows it down a little bit.
Yeah, exactly right. So I think that that was a great call, and I think that he has played well. He's made some great throws, and you cannot underestimate
his ball placement's been great.
The trading of Chase Claypool was phenomenal, and George Pickens is outstanding as well. That's I haven't bought a Steeler jersey in a long time, but I may spring for a Pickens jersey.
Pat Freiermuth has been playing well too.
I hope he stays I hope he's like a 15-year Steeler. That's like he's got all
Penn State guy.
Yeah, he's got it all going on. He's got the Muths going at him. So I think the Steelers minus 2.5. I like that actually. I like the Steelers minus 2.5. I think this is almost as charged as the Saturday night game, if not more so. I mean, it's a win if you're in for the Steelers.
Well, they have to get some other things to happen.
They have to have a few other
but
things.
But they have to win that. It's a must-win game.
Exactly right.
It's a must-win game.
It's another playoff game. If you lose, you have no chance. So you have to at least give yourself the best shot. And I think 2.5 is a great number because you can win by a field goal and cover that. Pittsburgh Steelers minus 2.5.
You like that?
I'm in.
So here's my thought on that. Everyone, like Drew just so empathetically, as a Steelers fan, he should have, was so charged up about like George Pickens is playing great. Kenny Pickens is throwing the ball right where it needs to be. Pat Freiermuth is this is great. 15-year Steeler. Which one of the last, because everyone's pointing to the last couple of weeks where the Steelers have turned it on to get into this position. What game makes you that confident? Why are you so confident about it? Was it the way that they barely beat the struggling Raiders with Derek Carr by 3 points, on the coldest night in NFL history when they had everything to play for right after Franco's passing? Or was it the way that they almost lost to the Ravens without their star quarterback? So to me, it's like it's a cool story that the Steelers have turned it on coming down the stretch after starting 4-7 or whatever it was, 3-6 or whatever it was, and now they're 8-8. But what about them is inspired? You know what I mean? Like, it's just they were so close to losing to a Derek Carr led Raiders team, and I get that it was cold that night. I understand that. They barely beat a Sam Darnold-led Panthers team with Mitch Trubisky, so they get a pass on that one. But they also barely beat Tyler Huntley and the Ravens on that one. You're telling me that this Browns team just signed a quarterback for the most amount of money they've ever paid a player in NFL history, and he's getting the chance to ruin this team's playoff chances in front of their hometown, a team that he's going to see for the next 8 years, twice a year. I just think there's Amari Cooper is very good. They have a very good running attack with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. And you get people that can control the clock like that. If you shut down Najee Harris, you have a real shot. I like the Browns minus 2.5 or plus 2.5. I like the Browns plus 2.5.
All right, so you said a lot of words right there.
I did.
I think I can break this up into a few different pieces. The big thing that my brain went to whenever you were first starting down that road was TJ Watt's return was the first thing. Yep. The first thing that whenever he came back, it was like, holy, like it's a game change, literally a game changer. You have to account for him, and whenever you account for him, he still finds a way to bust you up. So good. That was a huge thing. And we also have Najee Harris now, like in the last 2 weeks, like. Is it Najee Harris?
Coming to life.
I don't know what's motivating him, but I hope it continues, and I hope it's a positive for him.
Yep.
That continues as well. So 2 things: a healthy defense, and then Najee Harris. That helps me be a little more confident. And the other things is that whenever it's 8-8, I mean, there's not a whole lot of room for bullshit in 8-8. It's just it's 8-8. It's 8-8. That's your record. You barely win, almost win against a bad team. The wins are the wins. They played to their competition. It's always been the Steelers.
That's it. So it's the
Steelers calling card.
That's fair.
It doesn't matter how good or bad they are. They're playing to their competition. But a healthy defense, a mostly healthy defense.
Sure.
Your star player is healthy.
Yep.
And Najee Harris being able to run the ball, because that just, as everybody in football knows, that just frees up the offense for so much more.
Yeah.
You can do so much more when your running game is moving. So it is very nice of Najee to pick up more of that load as far as the offensive line maybe not being as stout as Pittsburgh would like them to be.
Right.
But Najee Harris picking up most of that load and being able to drive that bus. Jerome Bettis.
For the
why
do they call him the bus?
He's afraid to fly. the Najee Harris being able to do that, a healthy defense, I'm confident with that too. And also, I mean, if they lose this game, it doesn't matter because they're out of the playoffs. But I think that either way, it'll be a great experience. Kenny's going to be out of the playoffs or in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he's going to be out of the playoffs and bitter in the playoffs and performing. So,
and you're looking at, as a Steelers fan, you're looking at this season as, what do we have for the next 10 years? What do we have for the next 5 years? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where you're looking. And I called it coming into this NFL season. I thought Kenny Pickett's going to look the best out of all the rookies. Obviously, he was the only one drafted in the first round. He's also 24, right? It was the Baker Mayfield effect. Baker Mayfield looked head and shoulders above all the other rookies because he was older. He was closer to his ceiling. Don't be shocked. Someone clip this. Don't be shocked when Kenny Pickett doesn't look good 4 years from now. Or he doesn't look like the best quarterback in that class even 4 years from now, because it was Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield looked great, coming out because he was so much closer to his ceiling. I think he's a good player. I want Kenny Pickett to be. I like Kenny Pickett. I want him to be good. I don't think he's going to be he's not the next Ben Roethlisberger, which I understand there's not many of those, but I think could you see Kenny Pickett after this rookie season not playing out his rookie deal with the Steelers? Probably not. Does that mean he's guaranteed a second contract? Absolutely not. Baker Mayfield didn't get a second contract with the Browns. He took the Browns to a playoff game, right? Sam Darnold didn't get a second contract. Josh Rosen was out of the league after his first year. Those were all first-round picks. Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten a second contract yet. You know what I mean? So, I think he's going to be all right. I think he's a good starter in the league. He's Matt Ryan 2.0, but early Matt Ryan.
Like the 2022 Matt Ryan.
No, not the 2022 Matt Ryan. That guy blows.
Like the 2022 version of the 2007 Matt Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's who Kenny Pickett is. I do, which is fine. You can win games with that.
Which is fine.
You can win games with that. You can go to a Super Bowl with that. You can. You could lose. You could blow.
Which is fine. I love that. Which is fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
But I mean, also the secondary market for quarterbacks now is so attractive because you have these teams that are getting rid of their first round picks.
That's the thing, man.
Somebody else's. If you call somebody else's trash, another man's treasure. It's. I don't know. I think Kenny. I don't know if he's. I can't say if he's Big Ben. I think it's going to take a few games, and this could be the season or the postseason that we see.
Game this weekend.
I don't think so. I don't think it's
early. This is this chance to step up and say, I'm here. This is my team. We're gonna make the playoffs on my shoulders, or I'm gonna put everything that I can to make the playoffs. On
the weekend's gonna be good no matter what, because win, it's that I've accomplished something. You lose, it's hopefully channel that bitterness into everything for next season. I think either way it's fine. It's gonna be a bitter taste losing to the Browns and getting kicked out by the Browns, kicked out of the playoffs by the Browns, or potential playoff spot by the Browns.
Sure.
Having your playoff hopes extinguished by the Browns is just not where any Pittsburgh Steeler wants to be. Suck. So I think either way it's going to be fine, but I think the Steelers can cover this, and I don't know if they're going to get in. I don't have a great feeling about that, but I think they can win this game by 2.5.
All right, so we're split on this one. The next game that comes up to me here is the Minnesota Vikings are giving 7.5 points against the Chicago Bears. Most people look at this game and say, what are the Vikings to play for? I think they can still get that number 1 seed if things fall right for them, right? And that's important. I don't understand. This game is a touchdown. I don't understand how this game is a touchdown. Yes, the Vikings got dog walked by last week by the Packers, but suddenly the Packers defense remembered how to football. So that's a big thing. Minnesota is going against the Chicago defense, which this Chicago defense has put up more yards through the air than Southwest this year. It's been a very bad defense
They've given up more yards in the air.
Yeah,
Chicago. Okay.
The defense. Chicago. Yeah,
they've got some sky miles.
Yeah, more times, more yards in the air, and less canceled flights. And the Jets beat this team 31-10. Without Justin Fields. Also, the only watchable part of Chicago football has been Justin Fields. He is not playing this weekend. So now you're getting...
you have another showstopper quarterback, though.
Nathan Peterman.
Absolute showstopper.
Nathan Peterman.
Pick guy. Pick man.
Yeah, pick guy. So gets picked all the time.
So you've got... Yeah.
The fact that this is only 7.5 tells you everything you need to know. You should put your mortgage on this. I mean, realistically.
Yeah. Are you betting the house on it?
No, not betting the house on this one. But that's absolutely a winnable game. 7.5 does not seem like nearly enough because remember, the Vikings can put up points.
A high of 41 and partly cloudy. 35 and partly cloudy in Chicago on Sunday.
That's not bad.
So it's really not going to... It winds at 5 miles an hour. The Windy City is not going to live up to its name, at least in the forecast.
Right.
So, yeah, I think the Vikings are going to... They're not phased by playing outside because whenever their stadium was being built, they played outside. So they know what that's like. They played at the college stadium for a while. So I think the Vikings -7.5 and decent cold weather January conditions in the upper Midwest. Minnesota Vikings -7.5. That's easy. Yeah,
and it's a 1 p.m. game.
That's easy.
So Kirk Cousins can't even screw it up. It's a 1 p.m. game.
So interesting. They're playing because that's Central Time. It's noon. They're starting at noon.
Yeah, it's even better.
Go ahead.
And Justin Jefferson is, I think, real close to beating Randy Moss's record for receiving yards within the first 2 years or 3 years. They're going to feed him the ball. He's going to want to be out there. Do I think that they might play their starters the entire game? They might not if they're up by a lot, which could lead to a backdoor cover. I don't see that happening because I just don't see the Chicago offense where your star players are Kmet and a shell of Chase Claypool. Give me Minnesota -7.5 all day long.
So what's your thoughts on these records now? Or do you know what's going to happen with these records? Because we're 17 games versus 16. Are they going to take the best 16? Are they going to just say 17 is the season? So that's what we're going to do now.
I mean, was it fair that pitchers back in the day threw 68 miles an hour and Babe Ruth hit every single one of them out of the park? You know what I mean? They still count those.
We're just
records.
writing new record books, really.
Yeah. Was it fair that all these? It's so.
I'm not asking if it's fair. I'm asking for your opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Or if you know what's going to happen, I don't know.
No, I don't know what's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is they're going to get these guys the records, and then they're going to there's going to be an asterisk next to their name, and that'll be that. And 18 games has been a lot of fun.
I agree.
18 games has been a lot of fun.
It's a lot.
It gives you an extra week before this week 18 where it's just like, oh, we're sitting guys or we don't have a chance to make the playoffs, so we're going to fight for our coach or whatever the case is. And speaking of fighting for your coach, this game is all about fighting for your coach. Houston at Indianapolis, which is -3. This is
Indianapolis -2.5 is -115 on FanDuel right now.
So who has less to play for here? Indianapolis or Houston?
So Houston could, in theory, lose the first overall pick to
who? Who would be
Chicago?
Chicago.
So Chicago,
but they're not worried about that because Chicago's not taking a quarterback.
Chicago,
unless Chicago trades out.
Correct. Yeah, which we've known Chicago to on draft day. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who's on the board? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. We'll just take.
Give me Mitch.
Give me Mitch Trubisky.
So who knows what happens to Chicago on draft day?
Yeah.
But that's the only team that has the threat to jump them. But they can still win this one, and sour Indianapolis. Indianapolis can move up quite a bit too. They're at 5th right now on the 2023 draft rankings. I don't know who's playing for less to answer your question. I would say the Texans are playing for less. I mean, talking about playing for your coach, I don't know. I think Jeff Saturday still has a lot. Feels like he has a lot.
Lovie Smith,
especially Jeff Saturday. Well, Lovie Smith's going to be somewhere, right?
I don't know.
Jeff Saturday's going to be back in some network studio if this doesn't work.
Which is it's better.
It's not.
That's so much less.
Apparently
pressure.
not.
Well, you're right.
But
you're right.
But for like Lovie Smith, he'll be a coordinator for somebody. He'll easily because he's been on NFL sidelines for feels like 20, 30 years.
He was the head coach of the Chicago Bears, but back when
and then he was the coordinator, and then he's moved around and he's been okay from where I'm sitting. But I think that I feel like Jeff Saturday still feels like he to me is the coach, the person with the most that he feels like he has to prove, especially with his comments,
for sure,
and especially with his recent results. Like he's not. He had that a couple of literal flashes in the pans, and then it hasn't been a fun ride since then. 38-10 to the Giants, 20-3 to the Chargers, 39-36 to the Vikings. Whenever they were up 36-0 at halftime.
Yeah, 33-0 at halftime.
33-0 at halftime.
Same thing.
It's inexcusable.
6
doesn't happen. 54-19 to the Cowboys. So it's like they're giving up a ton of points. I think that I don't think that trend quits. I think Houston can still pile it on.
Yeah, I'm all in, and this is a game that is so unwatchable in Week 18. But I'm all in on Texans +3. Houston sucks, but they've been hanging around good teams. They beat the Dallas Cowboys, beat them by 4. They weren't even supposed to be in that game. They were -17.5 point underdogs. The Chiefs beat them by 6. They were in that game, and they beat the Texans. I think they win this game outright. I really do.
Yeah.
The Colts have broken 3 quarterbacks this year in the span of 17 games. Matt Ryan, they made him look awful, right? Behind the highest paid offensive line in the league. Nick Foles, they broke him. Literally, he got carted off the field last week. And Sam Ehlinger, who had promise coming out of college. Like, as a Texas quarterback, you look at him, you're like, oh, he could, potentially kind of be like a Colt McCoy, you know what I mean? Like, never make it, but like never be out of the league. And they've all looked terrible.
And if you look at it, Indianapolis, they are the NFL blue version of the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah.
Sam Ehlinger. Yeah. So it's like, like literally like everything, like the number on the helmet, the gray face mask.
Yeah.
The jersey with the 2 stripes on the shoulder.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's I don't have high hopes for the Indianapolis Colts, especially this time of year. If this game is on your Red Zone channel, every other game is in commercial. I can almost guarantee.
But that being said, give me the Texans +3.
Yeah, give me the Texans +3. I mean, even plus 130 money line is not horrible.
It's not bad.
It's Texans plus 130 money line sounds like a great play.
That's fair. Do you have any games that caught your eye?
Let's see what we already talked about. Well, definitely the Bills game, Bills and Patriots. I mean, that's also Patriots still in the playoff contention. Sure. So, and then the Bills coming off of whatever. I don't know how you really get back to work this week after something like that. So,
but you've also worked the last 16 weeks, 16 weeks. You kind of have a feel for the playbook at this point.
Well, it's also, I mean, like I'm sure that everybody is reminding each other in the building that, what would DeMar want us to do, right? It's DeMar wouldn't want anybody to sit around and just be mopey and sad for him. So hopefully that, I mean, if they channel that -7, it doesn't seem like a lot for the Patriots that are it's I'm trying to think of the word. Fledgling is not the right word because that's like
they're limping.
They're limping is a great way to put it. They are struggling to get across the line. So -7 doesn't seem like a lot for a potentially motivated Bills squad. That's they're like we were talking about with the cancellation of the game. The situation's kind of up in the air, but an extra win wouldn't hurt, right? So Buffalo Bills -7. I think it's -7 is -105 right now. I think if that goes to 6.5, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on this game.
Oh, I like that.
So I won't make a pick. The only other game I want to talk about is the New York Jets at Miami. The Miami Dolphins are -2. They're 2-point favorites right now, and I will tell you, this is finally a good week for me. The Jets have a chance to ruin somebody else's season other than their own. They will, because they have nothing left to play for. They will come out and it'll be like, where was this offense been the last month and a half? Tua's out. Teddy Bridgewater's likely out. You have Skylar Thompson getting first team reps, and Miami's favored. Why? You know what I mean? Like Skylar Thompson played the Jets week 5 or 6, and they lost 40-17 with Zach Wilson at quarterback. So you're going to give me Mike White, sore ribs, the same defense, not Breece Hall. I understand that. That's a big miss. Different offensive line. But yeah, the Jets are 100% going to win this game. They're going to win this game by 20 points. That's just because they have nothing to win, and the only thing they can do now is hurt their draft capital, so they will 100% win this game. It's not even a question.
Just because it will hurt them.
100%.
It will hurt them.
Winning will hurt them. Hey, in 2020, you didn't have to beat the fucking Rams, but you did when the Rams were really good, but they did. And what'd that do? Cost you Trevor Lawrence. So I guarantee you the Jets are going to win this game by at least 10 points. Just bank that. Just take the Jets money line. The Jets are closing the season out on a win.
I mean, that would help the Steelers.
Oh yeah, it would. Yeah, it would help everybody but the Jets. It would help everybody but the Jets, and that's what the Jets do.
Where are the Jets sitting right now? 13th right now.
Yeah.
With a slurry of teams. I mean, they could get up as high as probably 10th with a loss, and then they could fall all the way down to as low as 18th with a win. So
sure. So. Exactly. This is the worst. This is the worst time of year to be a Jets fan. Usually it comes earlier. I'll be honest with you. Usually I'm looking at the draft board way before week 18. Thank you for that. However, there's no chance that they don't win this game. There's no chance.
So
I'll put money on it. I'm going to put money on it.
What are the Jets hunting this year in the draft? What holes? Do you know what holes are the priorities?
Offensive line,
1 or 2.
Yeah, offensive line. You're looking at linebacker. You're looking at safety help. They actually have a really good team. I mean, realistically, fundamentally, all the pieces are there. They have a team. If they didn't have the worst quarterback room in the NFL, they're a playoff team, and they're probably a 6 seed or a 5 seed. Like they were that good. You gotta think they beat the Bills right before the bye week to finish 6-3. Came back out, ended up 7-4 before going to the slide. They were fine. You know what I mean? So is Miami though. Miami's really shit the bed. So
yeah, that's what I saw. Some blurb about how they've what they started last year. Miami did. They started last year like 2-7, and then they started this year 7-2, and then they made it to 8-8 both years.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine. Yeah, they're gonna be 8-8 both years. Yeah, they're gonna be fine. Miami's really struggled. But yeah, I think Skylar Thompson hasn't looked great. If he's getting the first team reps on Thursday, that tells you that he's probably starting on Sunday. So give me the Jets, and the bad season continues for me.
Is that 7-4? Is that like close to when Breece Hall went down?
No. Breece Hall went down in week like 6 or 7 against the Denver Broncos, and then they came back the next week and they beat the Buffalo Bills without Breece Hall and AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker, who's their best offensive lineman. And then they lost to the Patriots, and then they lost to the Patriots again, and then the wheels kind of fell off, and Zach Wilson's chain got pulled. And but the Jets are going to win this game. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's making me a little skeptical. I was thinking this was pretty easy. I'm not going to touch this game now, but I was thinking this was pretty easy for the Dolphins, honestly. I mean, the Dolphins have lost the last 5 games they played too.
But that's a great impetus and they have no draft picks to play for because they
could still make the playoffs though. The Dolphins
could
make the playoffs.
They are in the hunt for the playoffs, but
in fact, the Dolphins should make the playoffs because if the Dolphins beat the Jets, and no matter what the Steelers do,
I think they're in control. Yeah,
but Miami might still have to lose, or sorry, New England might still have to lose. It's not gonna. New England's not gonna beat the Bills. They're just not.
I buy that. I buy that.
Yeah. So Miami winning in, and they're gonna lose by 20.
Basically, yeah. Everybody's playing a win or else game for one reason or another this weekend. So I'm not going to touch that now. Like I said, just based off of what you've shared and your experience with the Jets, it makes so much sense to me. I can't.
You could feel the pain.
Yeah, I can't in good conscience because I know the Jets have an ability to, or they have an opportunity to shoot themselves in the foot. They take that more often than not. So.
They do. They're like Plexico Burress.
Yeah, exactly right.
I'm good on the games if you want to talk some overs.
Yeah, we've got a lot of low overs,
which just to me screams that Vegas is like, hey, no one's playing anybody this week. If you're kind of in the playoffs, if you don't have anything to play for, everybody's not playing. An over that I like. The Cowboys got who this week?
The Cowboys are at Washington, which is one of my favorite games on the calendar anytime. Cowboys, Washington's always a great game.
Washington's starting Sam Howell out of UNC this week. They're not going with Heineke. They're not going with Carson Wentz. The fact that game's only like, what is it, 4.5?
It is at Dallas Cowboys are -7 right now.
Okay, so, I mean, that's kind of a head-scratcher line right there. I don't know what that's about. Maybe Cowboys aren't going to try as hard, or they're not going to, well, if they get up, they're going to pull their starters. A thing that I like in this game is the Dallas Cowboys over 23.5 team points. I think that's going to hit Commanders. I don't think, Commanders still have a chance to make the playoffs, I think. However, nope, I think they might have got eliminated. Either way, Cowboys over 23.5 team points. It's kind of where I'm at.
They are eliminated. Good call. In the that's a great call on the team points as well. But I was just thinking, like, one of these games, like a lot of the totals are between 39.5 and like 42.5.
It's crazy.
It's like probably 80% of the games.
Right.
One of these is going to explode.
Top's going to blow
and
off.
we got to find it.
Yeah.
And I think I did.
Okay.
The Chargers at the Broncos. It's 39.5. The Broncos are due. No matter who's there, it's just somebody do something.
Yeah.
And what better week to do it than like
this week?
We can actually play football.
Yeah.
These guys are pretty good. We actually can do this without. I mean, talk about overpaid. If you're on, that's they don't have a draft pick because it's the Seahawks draft pick. So they're not playing for anything. What more would they like to do than to make Seahawks draft pick a little bit worse?
Yeah.
So I think that game is going to go over. I don't know. The Broncos are favored in that game, -2.5. But the 39.5, I think, is...
Oh, because you know what, though? The Chargers might have already clinched. They might be sitting guys because they can't improve their draft. They can't improve their...
39.5 is great.
Over.
Yeah. Whoever's out there.
Yeah.
Whoever's getting a chance to play is getting a chance to play for the last time this year, unless there's an injury in the playoffs. And then the Broncos... the Broncos are the Broncos, and they have to just do something so they don't get booed. I think it's going to be 39.5.
All right.
Easily there. Los Angeles at Denver. Please don't text me whenever it ends 6-3.
13-4. Two safeties. Here's the one that I like. I think the top's going to blow off on this one. The Baker Mayfield-led Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. It's over 41.5. I like that game a lot. Bonus pick here if you're listening to this right now. Before the lines change, before this, you have to get this bet in before the weekend, though, or it doesn't. It's not going to work out. Week 18 is a total crapshoot. We don't know who's playing, who's not, how long people are going to be playing. The one thing I do know is that if you have the opportunity to get Geno Smith for comeback player of the year at plus money, which right now on FanDuel is plus 150, he's got the best odds. He's tied with Christian McCaffrey, who wasn't doing anything until he got into a really good 49ers team. You take those odds. On the year, he's thrown for 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's sixth in the league of QBR. If you're going to give me a chance to take him or Christian McCaffrey, those kind of awards always go to the quarterback.
Correct, as they should.
Right, because they're the one that touches the ball every play. Always go to the quarterback. It seems like easy money, and I feel like if the Seahawks put up, if Geno Smith has any kind of game this weekend, those odds are going to be like minus 280. So get him now at plus money. Geno Smith plus 150 on comeback player of the year. Rams at Seahawks because the Seahawks defense is terrible and the Rams defense hasn't been great this year. Get both of those at over 41.5 with some decent quarterback play. I think that hit's going away.
I like that as well. I mean, Baker Mayfield, you can't say enough about a guy that headbutts his teammates with helmets on while he's not wearing helmets. Right. So I think that, and I think the Seahawks playing at home for the last time. I mean, I think that's a great call, Derek. 41.5 does not seem. It's
not that much.
It does not seem like it's that much.
Doesn't seem like it's that much.
Doesn't seem like it's that much for them. You know what I'm putting together right now? I know we're going to talk about parlays in a minute.
No, put one together.
But it's something that it's actually a teaser.
Okay.
I've seen this come through. Mike Yavorski actually showed it to me. A 3-team 10-point teaser. Basically comes out to like even money.
Okay.
So I'm starting off. We'll get further into this, but the Giants plus 24.5.
Yeah, you cannot.
The Giants plus 24.5.
Seems like they are resting guys though with that kind of line.
Going to be part of that. It's 14, and then we also have the 14 points for the Cardinals game as well. But I don't think that's going to be part of what we're talking about. You can go plus 24.5 on the Giants. 24.5 is just...
I agree. So what's the second part?
Second part is going to be Texans at Colts. You can go Texans plus 12.5. And I'm putting these together on FanDuel.
No, you're good. I like that too.
And then we'll go back...
Because we both think the Texans could win outright that game.
Correct. Yeah, so plus 12.5.
Yeah. Go to bed at halftime. Go to bed before the game starts. Don't watch that.
Jeff Saturday's team could have a 33-point lead on somebody, and you can't turn your eyes away. You got to watch the whole game because you could blow it in half. And then the last one's kind of tough, honestly. I
mean, why not just go Bills money line?
That would fit.
Bills plus 3.
That would fit.
Because you get them at 10.
Cowboys plus 3.
Cowboys plus 3 over
Washington.
I mean, over a rookie quarterback against that defense.
Rams plus 16.
Rams plus 16 against the Seahawks, who also suck at defense.
I think it's got to be Rams plus 16.
All right. I love that. And that comes out to pretty much even money?
Let me see here. I got 2 of them in. I'm putting plus 16.5 for the Rams. Let's do plus 15.5 for the Rams.
All right.
That comes out to minus 115.
Yeah. It's the normal amount of juice on a bet.
Giants plus 24.5. Texans plus 12.5. Rams plus 15.5.
I like that. The
SNIZ special.
I went the exact opposite with my parlay. I took a 6-team money line parlay because sometimes you just gotta want it.
All right, I'll give you the live odds. Go ahead and spit them out. Right.
Chiefs money line. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much a guarantee, I think. I don't think the Chiefs are losing that game.
At the Raiders, yep, -9.5.
Jags money line.
-295.
Now I'm liking this one a lot because the Jags are winning in. Bills money line, obvious reason.
This is great. This is a 2-day parlay. You gotta go to bed with your
parlay. This one out, Vikings money line. They're gonna beat the Bears by 100.
Yep.
Cowboys money line. Rookie quarterback playing against that defense. It's not happening. Go Pack, go Packers money line.
It's a full day too. It's a full 2 days.
They beat the Lions, knocked the Lions out of the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers gets into the playoffs. What's it at? Plus
428 right now. On
plus 428.
And your longest odds are -240. It's the Packers.
Not amazing.
Everything else is about -300 or better.
Not amazing juice because you gotta sweat it out a little bit. But those are the teams that I think have a lot to play for this week. And they're going to play for it this week. So plus 424. I'll take that. That's bet $10 win 42.40. That's not bad.
428. Yep. Yeah. 42.80.
42.80. Oh, even better. Yeah.
Better by the second.
Yeah. Why not?
I think that's.
Yeah. I like that.
Why not?
Yeah. Now we're looking at our bet the HAUS picks. We talked a lot about a lot of games. Drew, do you have a bet the HAUS pick?
Somebody we haven't talked about yet, actually.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm going to go back to the well one more time.
Okay.
Joe Burrow has been a tough target to hit this year.
Yeah.
He's not a receiver. Weeks. I don't mean physically hit him as like in a boxing match or in a football match even. Or in a football game.
Yeah, game.
Football matches across the pond, football games out this way. But Joe Burrow, I think he's led the Bengals to 11-4. I mean, we're playing the Ravens at this point.
Lamar Jackson's not playing this week.
No, and if you've seen anything of the Ravens without Lamar Jackson, it is
they lost to the Steelers.
Pretty close to the Pop Warner football. It's just like the quarterback gets the ball, and then from there,
who the hell knows?
Yahtzee. I think it's literally just spaghetti thrown. All right, this is the route. We're gonna go here. Yeah. You're gonna go just cross. I think the huddles are just running towards. Just post in. Just post in. I'll hit you, and then not open. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna run.
It's Army football.
I don't trust the Ravens. Yeah, right, left.
Triple option.
Yep. I don't trust the Ravens at all. The Bengals are -7 is -114 right now.
Yeah.
I would get the half to get it down to
6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
Just to avoid the push there because there's nothing like a good push to ruin your weekend. -128.
That's where
is the line for the Cincinnati Bengals -6.5. Bet the house on that.
All right.
And Joe Burrow is going to bring us all a new home.
Bring this all a new home. Speaking of new homes, obviously this game. It was a tough. It was. I'll be honest with you. Monday night, that was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen on live TV. See a man stand up like that and just fall down lifeless, resuscitated twice in the field. As we know, we talked about it already. Here's what I will tell you: if you think for a second the Bills aren't covering this game, just fighting for your brother, your locker room, all those guys in there. If you don't think for a second the Bills are covering this game, the entire country was a Bills fan this week. They're coming off the most emotional primetime game in the history, and only half a quarter was played. All right, it seems like Hamlin's on the road to recovery. That's a good thing, but you're not going to let him watch this game because he's up. He's conscious. You're not going to let him watch this game and go flat. There's no chance. There's no chance the Bills lose this game by 7. There's just not. And the Bills might win by 40. The Bills might actually run the Patriots out of the building. Also, the Bills, just so it's not all emotional, just so it's not all like me saying like, oh, you got to bet the Bills because of the. Just so you know, it's not all emotional. The Bills are 5-2-1 against the spread in the Patriots in their last 8 games against the Patriots. It's at home in Buffalo after last week. Buffalo -7.
I think that's a great pick, Derek. The conditions in Buffalo on Sunday are projected to be 34 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's not bad for Buffalo.
With wind at 6 miles per hour. Partly cloudy as well. Seems like we're going to have some nice sunny games to watch.
It's
a little cold weather, good football weather. I think that we're channeling that Remember the Titans energy, with
that's
you're playing for more than yourself. I think also you can't discount the fact that New England's going to be coming in eyes wide open to that game as well, knowing what's going on and the emotional mountain that they have to climb to even reach where the Bills are at.
And they've not been good the last couple weeks. You know what I mean? It's not like they're coming in on a heater. Also, my hot take is Bills minus 28.5.
My hot take is Pittsburgh Steelers make the playoffs.
Oh, what's that? What's the odds?
I'm glad I said that.
What are the odds?
Let me get those live odds for you.
You got that out in one breath. It was awesome.
I had to get that. It was tough. I didn't, but the Steelers right now to make the playoffs. Let me see. They don't have any odds. It's basically it's all they have.
So then do this.
They only have 2022, 2023, and they only have the Lions and the Seahawks.
So do this. Do Dolphins to lose to the Jets on the money line. Do the Patriots to lose to the Bills on the money line, and do the Steelers to win, because that's basically the same thing. That'd be their odds.
Dolphins lose to Jets.
Dolphins lose to Jets money line.
Yep.
All right. Patriots lose to the Bills, and then the Steelers beat the Cleveland Browns this week. Because that's what has
those three things. That's the big three for our boys.
Yep.
The plus 301.
So then if you do that, plus the Steelers to win the Super Bowl.
Now we're getting
hot. Now we're getting hot.
Now we're gambling.
Now we're getting hot.
Now we're gambling.
The first rookie quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl.
Would you put all that in a parlay?
Yeah.
They are the longest odds to win the Super Bowl right now.
Put it all in a parlay.
At plus 28,000. It will not let you parlay that.
It won't let you parlay it?
That. Nope.
That's bullshit.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing, FanDuel. I mean, you've taken enough of our money.
But the Steelers to win the Super Bowl right now, if you log on this instant, at 7:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, January 5th, 2023, $10 will win you $2,800. It's almost worth just. I mean, might as well just throw $100 on it. Am I right? Might as well.
Yeah.
What's the max wager?
Yeah.
Max wager is $107.
We won't let you wager more than $107
no,
on that?
So you can win $29,960. So you must have a $30,000 cap on the max win.
Huh.
Which is kind of.
Yeah.
What the. What the heck? What the heck?
This is bullshit.
What the But that would be a great parlay to hit if you're making people wait 2 days. You got your parlays spread out over all sorts of time.
I got 6 weeks. I got March Madness in this parlay.
It honestly might be worth it just to put $20 on the Steelers to win the Super Bowl to pay $5,000 if they do, because why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you're donating $20, but we don't have to think about that. Just don't buy a scratch off when you go.
That's right. You don't need gas.
Yeah.
You don't need gas in your car.
So
this car runs on dreams.
I've been saying that.
This car runs on.
I've been saying that.
Hey, well, we appreciate you guys tuning in this week.
Is that it?
I just looked for the
We do another one.
I think so.
Wow.
That's it. We did another one. We all enjoy it as always. Thank you, Live Casino, as always, for keeping this podcast going. We appreciate you and FanDuel. Good luck this weekend. If you have any games that you want to talk to us about, you can hit us up in the DMs. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's right there. The link is right there. We're pulling a name out of a hat next week to give them some free money at the Live Casino. So go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube. Yeah, you can pull that up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hold it up to yours right here. We're giving away this Live Casino gift card where you can watch the games of sports and social with some free food, basically. Because hold it up there. I'm going to zoom in on your face. This is awesome. Hold on. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. So all you got to do to get entered into that is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And it's in there. I checked. It is. Oh, look at this packaging.
And the winner is... Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. So we appreciate you guys for hanging out with us this week. Good luck, everybody, on your bets. Good luck to the Steelers and all the other teams. Remember, keep DeMar Hamlin in your prayers and thoughts, and let's go.
It's good to see all the good come out of the DeMar Hamlin situation as well, with his charities and the things he supports that are receiving the love that everybody's dying to give him. So it's good that he's doing well and that everything's going well outside of that too. So keep the Rays in Tampa. Let's win some bets this week. Let's have the Steelers make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Longest odds, but the next odds,
Jacksonville Jaguars
plus 15,000.
Was it Jacksonville Jaguars?
There was a couple of teams there.
Okay.
I have to get back to it to let you know for sure. But to win the Super Bowl, plus 28,000 for the Steelers, plus 15,000 for the Titans and the Patriots. And then the Jaguars are plus 5,000 right now.
I mean, jeez.
So the Steelers are 5 times as less likely to make the playoffs.
That makes sense.
Well, to win the Super Bowl, rather. So I think we can just make the playoffs. That would be a great season. Get a winning record for Mike Tomlin. Yep. Keep that going. Keep the Rays in Tampa. Just keep that going. Other than that, Happy New Year, buddy. This should be
Happy New Year.
We're undefeated this year, which is great.
Haven't lost a game this year. Good luck, everybody. We appreciate you. As always, tune in next week where we're giving away that gift card, and we'll see you guys then.